a nice little sip of coffee. We're going to talk about the fact that it's been awfully quiet. It has been awfully quiet in regards to any news about Pulse Chain, V3, what's happening, what's going on. And of course, as always, what we like to do is check out what the GitLab is seeing. I'm a big fan of seeing these folks work every single day on the GitLab. So as always, let's take a quick peek-a-weeky over to see what they got going on. All right. And of course, share the screen as well. So folks, if you aren't already familiar, GitLab is where they are building and developing Pulse Chain. That's the primary system that they're using. The developers of Pulse Chain are all located right here. These are all members in the Pulse Chain thing. Brett Paulson, 3 Commas Capital, SJB, Kyle Barr, TBC, Richard Hart. And again, folks, I know everyone has seen my streams, or if you haven't already previously, this is what I like to look at. I'm waiting to see Richard Hart be active right here, dude. If we get this motherfucker active, oh my god. You best believe I'm probably just going to be doing like a random alert live stream type deal to see if I can actually send it right away, right from the jump. But overall, look at this, folks. We got 3 devs who are active as of yesterday. You got SJB3 or SJB933, and folks, these are all of their Twitter handles as well. So if you want to hop on over to their Twitter, you're more than able to hop on over to their Twitter as well. You got 3 Commas Capital, January 29, 2023. SJB, January 29, 2023. Brett Paulson, January 29, 2023. I mean, that looks bullish as fuck to me, folks. That looks like we got something culminating right here. And if you don't know the old saying, it's always quiet. It's always quietest right before the storm. And so I think that's at the point in time where we might be at, because folks, it is awfully quiet. If you go over to Richard Hart's page, for example, and just kind of see the announcements of he's doing, we can scroll on over to here and share the Twitter. If you aren't already following Richard Hart on Twitter, do yourself a favor and definitely give him a follow. He's going to be the main person who's going to be dropping information about Pulse Chain, whether it be testnet version 3, whether it be Pulse Chain going live. He is the main source of information. You will not get any outside information from anyone else. If you have already been fooled by a few folks who have been like, I'm talking to devs and it's happening here in a couple days, Hopium is okay. It is good to have Hopium, folks. It keeps people motivated. That is what I hopefully bring to the channel and bring to the community. I want people to stay motivated because, guys, yeah, it can be a downtime, but this is meant to be a blast, right? So let's see what he had. The last time Richard Hart tweeted, the last time Richard Hart tweeted was on January 25th. So it's been over 5 days, and the last news he said was 7 hours ago. Stage 7 takes a long time. It's on block 6 million, blah, 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 blah. And here's the photo taken of the actual screenshot of it being copied over as well. So if you don't already know this, and this is exactly what Richard Hart's working on already. He's working on the fact that we are getting this in development. It is being copied. It's copying over, once again, the entire Ethereum network. So for those of y'all who haven't seen that, that's just something pretty interesting. January 25th, 2023. Again, that was just 5 days ago. Let's look to see if we have Brett Tep, see if he's actually said anything as of recently. He's been kind of dropping some hints, but for the most part, look at this. January 23rd, 2023. So I don't need to worry about saying 2023 anymore. I figure y'all already know what year we're in, but context is important. The public dev room, in response to devs after Richard Hart wins, spoke about these things. No breaking news will come from me in secret or in public. All news breaks from Richard Hart. All news breaks from Richard Hart and only him. Remember that when you see tweets, okay? So keep that in mind, folks. It's all good to have Hopium. Like, there's no point in like beating each other up. I'm a big fan of the Hopium that KDP brings along, that HVid brings along. She's also been quiet as of lately. Wonder why? Maybe she knows something. Well, let's see what she has going on, because she's also an awesome part of the Hopium area for people as well. So the last time she tweeted something was on January 27th, and it just said HEX was the beginning, or HEX was only the beginning. A new era is coming with Pulse Chain and Pulse X. So folks, you're gonna have MetaMask being swapped into a Richard Heart wallet. Get ready for that. You have Ethereum already getting forked over with Pulse Chain. You have Bitcoin, which is the store of value to most people's standards, converted into HEX, which is a much better store of value. And not only that, it pays you trustless yield. Yes, sir. Pay me. I get paid every single day, 0000 UTC time. And that stands for continent, or what does that stand for? Universal time control, Central Universal Time. It's something backwards. It used to be Greenwich or GMT time, whereas basically the Greenwich Mean Time, and they switched that into UTC time at one point in time in the past. Not really sure where. But also we got Pancake Swap, a decentralized exchange, and we're gonna have Pulse X. So folks, we got the quiet before the storm happening right here. These are amazing store values right there. These are facts. And let's just take a quick little peeky weeky at what's going on over here with the actual token, which is HEX. HEX is what we're all primarily focused on right now. Why? Because it is currently available to focus on. But folks, we're seeing some retracement happening right now. As of today, we have seen quite a bit of a sell-off in terms of what we got going on. And so far today, it's down roughly about 8.55%. Nothing too crazy at this point still. But again, the longer we typically wait to hear news of Pulse Chain, the more HEX ends up being hurt, right? So as of right now, we definitely haven't broken this 3-cent barrier that we have placed up here. We have a 3-cent line up a little bit further. If you can't see, it's right there. I'll scroll down just a smidge more. But it's that blue line. This is a 3-cent line. This is what we're really waiting to retest. And guys, this is what I see happening. It's playing out exactly like this little wedge pattern is going to show. And until we get news of Pulse Chain, we're going to bounce in here in this little range for some time. Now, how long that may last, I'm not really sure. But this goes all the way up until the middle of February, okay? And that's when we may end up starting to see something more interesting happen. That's when we could either go down with no news of Pulse Chain, and we could also go up with news of Pulse Chain. And all of it comes with Pulse Chain. And it kind of stinks that HEX is being affected as heavily as it is. But we know that's the case, right? But if we start retesting this line right here, which we're already doing, this line that I'm drawing on all over the place, if we start retesting in this area, folks, be ready, because we could easily break down. If you don't already have yourself some limit orders, now's a good time to possibly start setting limit orders around these prices, the 2.3 cent range, 2.4, possibly even maybe a little bit lower, 2.2, 2.1. These are good little limit order ranges, okay? These are areas where you can scoop up some more HEX, because usually what happens is we'll retest this area and then we'll go back up, okay? So you may only get a very short period of time. It may look like this wick. This wick is essentially limit orders all being eaten up, okay? If you aren't familiar with how that all works. But this limit order right here is basically everyone just, the limit order is just being eaten up. So I can zoom in right here and you can see that's what we're seeing, okay? It's exactly what we can kind of anticipate. We may see something very similar where if, whoops, what did I just do? And how did I just do it? Oh, interesting. What did I click to make it do that? Okay, cool. Well, I'll figure that out later, I'm sure. If I click escape. Okay, so it's just escape. Weird. Okay, so I can't just click escape. Cool. Now I know. So going on down here, folks, this is kind of what we're going to end up seeing, okay? We may end up retesting the 2.3, 2.2 cent range somewhere in here. If you don't already have limit orders, now's a good time to start learning how to set limit orders. I think 2.3 is a good little starting limit order entry price. And then you can start getting into like the 2.15. You never really want to do flat levels. So you'll never do like 2, for example, right? You actually want to do something like 2.1 or 2.15 or possibly even 1.95 or something like that. There's no point in really doing like the flat even numbers. because most of the time you may never get that limit order filled, especially if it just reaches 2.15, for example, and then gets scooped back up. You don't want to miss that opportunity if you haven't already gotten the amount of hex that you're looking for. And this is such a great opportunity for people to start building their bags and increasing their bags and increasing their portfolio and getting everything that you're looking to get out of HEX, because HEX is here to stay, folks. It's been around, it's stuck around, it's done exactly like it said it would do the entire time. It hasn't had to change. It's immutable, it's worked flawlessly, and so every single day that goes by, that T-share rate, or the rate it costs to get one T-share, ratchets up. We can see this by looking at this kind of data. This is HEX daily stats, and folks, look at this. We have day 1155. We are on day 1155. That's a good 3+ years already under the bag of HEX working immutably and flawlessly. So HEX is here to stay. If you're not scooping up some of these prices right here, then you may be missing an opportunity that you might regret later. There's no telling what may end up happening in the long run. Obviously, we don't exactly know how it's all going to play out. But if you see some opportunities here where you can scoop up some more HEX at 2.2 cents instead of the 2.5 that it is now, and then it goes back up to 5-10 cents above, you just got to get that much more of a bigger increase right there. So you never want to try to time the bottom perfectly, because guys, we're never going to be able to time the bottom perfectly. None of us are able to do that. All we can do is look at what's presented in front of us and make our own logical decisions. All the YouTube Hexicans will be notifying me with the YouTube notifications. I'm looking forward to it. Folks, when Pulse Chain goes live, like, dude, everyone and their mother is just gonna be doing streams. It's gonna be fucking madness, and I'm excited for that too. Like at the stream I did yesterday was talking about rule of thirds and how like 33% of the time you're happy, 33% of the time you may be just sad, and 33% of the time you're just meh. So like you can imagine that when Pulse Chain launches, everybody and their mother's gonna be up in that fucking top 33% of happiness, extreme excitement, extreme motivation. People, I think hexologists and some folks have already committed to do 24-hour streams when Pulse Chain goes live. There's so many things that are happening across the board. So it's just an absolute blast that we get to see. But yes, to answer that, or to bring up Okart's point, yeah, you best believe all the YouTubers and all the Hex streamers and every notification, Twitter, fucking Reddit, whatever you have attached yourself to, that thing's gonna be going like beep, 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 beep. It's gonna be like an Amber Alert, but instead it's gonna be for Pulse Chain, and it's just gonna be like, get on Pulse Chain. You know what I mean? Had to stop in. ClickPay got me. Had to check what price was doing. Well, hey, so far right now we're retracing Firefighting A2. I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you clicking in. We do check out the HEX price daily anyways here. And I saw the HEX price starting to retrace, but not only HEX in general, right? It's actually the overall market. Because if you actually compare and look at, say, Bitcoin, for example, too, Bitcoin's doing the same thing. And I have this on weekly. Let me switch it up to month or daily. Go on auto and log. Okay. So Bitcoin's kind of doing the same thing here, which you can see. Bitcoin's actually doing a retrace as well. It's got its own retrace happening. Ethereum's got its own retrace happening. The entire market's kind of waiting at this point in time, it looks like, for the Fed talk here in the next couple days to start making that determination about really what's going to happen and what's going to go on. But we can look at, say, ETH, for example, and probably see a similar thing. Come on, load. Load, what are you doing? God, that is the slowest load time screen I've ever seen on this. What in the act? There it goes. My God, that was forever and a day on that one. All right, switch it up to daily. But yeah, all the coins right now are essentially just retracing, right? So HEX has done a 9% retrace or an 8.55% retrace. Ethereum's down 6% for the day. And you can actually look at other websites like Crypto Bubbles, for example, a nice little one to kind of see what's happening. So we can switch it over here to daily, and Folks, I have this on a colorblind mode because I am colorblind myself. So if you see yellow, it basically means they're down, they're negative. If you see blue, it means they're actually up for the day. So all the stuff that you see right here, all this is all yellow, right? This is like bam, bam, bam. So the entire market right now is really feeling it. And we got HEX sitting at minus 6.8% for the day at this point in time. So that's just kind of what we're seeing. Again, for the week, we're still up 5.7%. For the month, we're still up 32%. So we're still up in this regard, especially if you were able to set some limit orders here in this 1.7 cent range, 1.8 cent range, like we have been discussing many, many times before. These are all areas and times where you can really start getting to benefit from it. And then you don't see it so much as like a down slump right now. You're still like, oh, I'm still up for the month. Because again, hopefully you've been able to scoop up some of this extremely great low prices that we have going on with the overall space right now. So appreciate you clicking through Firefighting 82. Bright Light Crypto, man, am I late? What up, guys? Been a while. What's up, Bright Light? Appreciate you swinging through as always. What do you think the market will do if the Fed does a 0.25% raise? The market's planning on the Fed doing a 0.25% raise. So everything is already being factored in right now at this point in time, Bright Light. So like literally all this red that you see, or let me switch it up. All this yellow that you see, I'll make it red so that way y'all can see it as red. It just makes more sense if I say it that way. All this red that you see is essentially the people already planning on that ahead of time. We looked at the correlations chart yesterday, and the correlation between like HEX, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all of that's, you know, correlated to a certain degree. And so when we start getting into Ethereum, for example, can I move this up by any chance? No. I switch this off, and switch this off. Cool. So when we look at Ethereum, look at Ethereum's correlation with Bitcoin. It's at a 0.9, which is damn near identical. Okay. So like 1 is the highest of correlation, and -1 means that like it's the inverse correlation, meaning that if Bitcoin goes up and it was -1, then Ethereum would go down the exact opposite. So in this case, we don't have that happening. With everything is so freaking correlated to Ethereum, because a lot of it's on smart contracts, a lot of it's paired in liquidity with Ethereum. Damn, I need to clean this. Anyways, I got distracted super fast. But you can see right here, Ethereum's damn near correlated with Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, and vice versa. So, and then whenever Bitcoin goes down, you know, Ethereum's tracking right along with it. And then what does that do with the entire rest of the market? Well, it makes it look like this. It brings a lot of red, and it makes it look like the floor is lava. I'm sure y'all have seen this chart before, where we can go into the floor is lava chart. And so, whoops, and so I can share this tab real fast, but this is the floor is lava. So you can see, guys, we get a lot of red, right? You know, that's just kind of how it is and how it goes. The more the market continues to do what it's doing, which a lot of folks are already pricing in the Fed, you know, increasing rates and still hiking up and still being hawkish and all that good stuff. So you can see like the market's definitely feeling it already. It's literally showing it with every single token and everything that you see. We know HEX isn't directly correlated with it. Damn, it makes everything freaking red. Why? That's so aggressive. that's so crazy. It just makes it look like angry, like just so aggressive. So we got some volatility, of course, for the day. We already know that. We know that's going to be the case. The day's range so far has hit anywhere between 0.2537 cents to 2.537 cents to 2.798. We definitely see it happening with the HEX chart as well. It's definitely showing it. It's not hiding what it's doing. I drew 2 different lines. So this one actually shows that we've already broken the line down. This is on my trading view chart that I had the line on, and this is deck screener. I drew a different line on it, just a little bit because it was slightly off on the trading view one. So really, this is what I'm trying to look at, is comparing the deck screener chart. And until we really break down out of this line right here, I think what we'll end up doing is doing what we always do, retesting this little line somewhere in this range, bounce off of it. I talked about it just a moment ago, but really we're going to be bouncing probably here in this 3-cent level, 2.7 cent, 3-cent level for a period of time, probably up until the middle of February, unless we really get some news from Pulse Chain, right? Once we actually get Pulse Chain news, that's when you best believe we're probably going to end up getting a lot of stuff, you know, excitement happening. People are going to start aping back into HEX. People are going to start telling every friend and family, move all of your coins from any other layer 1 crypto that you have right now, whether it be Polygon or Avalanche or Binance, and move it all into Ethereum so that way you can always get it copied. The 1-for-1 copy is going to be huge. Now, I hope that Richard Hart doesn't announce, personally, here, let me just say my thoughts on this. Crypto 7 had a stream like a week ago or so. Oh, sorry, pup. Lay down. Lay down. Thank you. So Crypto 7 had a stream like a little over a week ago or something like that. And basically the idea behind it was that, should Richard Hart announce Pulse Chain V3 and make it go public? And the idea behind that is that, like, no, it would be so much better for HEX, for the entire ecosystem of Pulse Chain, if Richard Hart does V3 private and just run V3 private the entire time. There's no need to launch V3 public. What will happen when that happens is we're going to get so much hype back into HEX, which is good for the HEX price temporarily. But if we're looking long term from a macro view, I want to look at it from anything that can hurt the price to essentially be as short as it possibly can be. So if we have a bunch of people, say V3 goes public, Pulse Chain Testnet V3 is public, right? Say that happens. Well, a whole bunch of people are going to start buying in HEX. And you're going to, why? Because HEX is going to be the best coin to be able to do swaps and ratio trading pre-bridge, and also probably get the best into the ecosystem. It'll have the most liquidity. There's a lot of reasons why HEX is going to be the main choice. So people are going to start aping into HEX and aping into HEX. And what will happen is all these folks who are aping into HEX right here, right now, they're going to end up selling their HEX once Pulse Chain actually launches, because they're not buying HEX for the actual utility of HEX, which is delay gratification, which is stake, which is, make sure to not hold it liquid, but stake it so that way you can earn trustless yield. That's the real point of HEX. Well, people are going to be using it just as a tool. And I don't want that tool to be broken by thousands of people trying to use it very quickly, right? And so, like, if you have so many people who are using it simply as a tool, yes, we may see the price of HEX run up to, whether it be 5, 10, or 20x higher than what it currently is right now. So that would put us back in the ballpark of 5 cents, 10 cents, up to 25 cents, even up to 50 cents, depending upon how long V3 lasts. Well, what will happen is Pulse Chain will launch, and then everyone who is currently using it simply as a tool are either going to bridge it over into the Pulse Chain ecosystem and sell it over there, which is going to hurt the price, or they're going to just dump it and get back out of HEX and not use it for what it was for, and just simply dump it and convert it, whether it be back into stablecoin, or convert it back into cash, or convert it back into the crypto of choice that they decide. So all these folks are going to have this amount where it's essentially, sorry, the wife's coming home. Just want to make sure everything's all good. Cool. So essentially it's just going to be a matter of time before someone dumps the price, right? And so, like, personally, I would love it. I would love it if what's up, Big GZ? What's up, man, dude? What's up? I would love it. I would absolutely love it if Richard Hart was just like silent as fuck right now, like he is, quiet as fuck like he is. Everything's working, everything's happening, it's running perfectly on the private V3 testnet. Once he gets everything copied, it's got the AMM bot working, everything is just going flawlessly. And then we get news saying Pulse Chain's launching within the next couple of days. Yes, that will be crazy news. It will be so freaking bullish. people will still jump into HEX because why? It's the best tool to get into Pulse Chain, the easiest, the fastest. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, otherwise he'd be in here, you know that. I'm sorry, my wife just got home. So so I think that would be the best bullish scenario because yes, people are still going to use HEX as a tool. People are going to say like, holy shit, Pulse Chain launching within the next couple days. Bet I'm jumping in. I'm aping into HEX, and they're just going to go. They're going to go ham. We could still see the price of HEX do something similar where it could do 2, 5 to 10x higher, but the price volatility on the opposite side is going to be so much less because when Pulse Chain launches, if you only had a few people who could take advantage, then or game the system, as Richard Hart likes to say, then that's going to be what people are going to try to do. So the best thing that can happen is literally for us to literally just say private V3 testnet. None of us need to mess with it. None of us need to test it. As much as I would love to, I think the price of HEX will be hurt significantly if we go public V3 testnet. I've mentioned my reasons why, and that's kind of where I stand. So who knows? Who knows exactly what's going to end up happening? I'm curious to see what's going to end up happening myself because, dude, this is a crazy freaking time, right? In the past few weeks, the market's been, you know, kind of coming back, kind of retracing. Some of it, we'll call it a bull trap, right? And so in some cases, right, a lot of folks are wanting to wonder, are we done with the bear market? Is this simply another bull trap? Is this what we call the calm before the storm, right? Is this where it's like, dude, everything's been quiet. Things have just been kind of like steadily going up and kind of retracing a little bit. Delta, hey, it's okay. I know your mama's home. It's okay. Calm the fuck down. So like literally, but like there's no news really stirring the waters. Like look at the overall news for crypto, right? Let me go to this little channel right here. It's decrypt.co. And we'll get some news typically here, but like there's really no news happening. Like kind of that's dude, hey, it's enough. Calm your tits. So you got so many folks. Look at this news. Dogecoin fans still hopeful after Elon Musk Twitter payments update, right? Binance and MasterCard launched the Bitcoin rewards in Brazil. FTX seeks to dismiss Turkish entities. Bitcoin mining difficulty hits a new all-time high. Smart Stake joins list of secret network validators. Like these, none of this is really like news. This is something to make an article about. But none of it's like, holy shit, this is happening, right? Like this, in my opinion, this isn't anything worth even mentioning because look at these guys. I mean, they're just not that much. I think the one thing that may be some news, feds want SBF to stop contacting potential witnesses. Like, this motherfucker's still outside contacting people. Matic Trader turns 80K into 4 million as Polygon ends month up 50%. And again, I bet you he took out a whole bunch, but you got to remember, folks, for this one person who was able to make some money, there was probably 1,000 people who lost some money, and maybe even more than that. This is such a rare occurrence, and I can almost assure that they probably ended up doing something on leverage and probably ended up doing something that would get you wrecked outside of, you know, in a normal scenario. So I personally don't recommend going this route. Okay, yeah, so my face does get cut off. I was curious. What? Am I too zoomed in? Oh, I was too zoomed in. All right, so let's just take a quick little peek because now, you know, fuck it. He got me on the, they got me on the title, right? Like you turned 80K into 4 mil. Talk to me. I'm curious. You know, my curiosity will still get to me. So Matic is up 19% in the past week. CoinGecko lifting gains, up 50% in January. This comes as the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum have increased, blah, blah, blah. At the time, Matic is the 10th largest, blah, blah, blah. Polygon is the sidechain that runs in tandem with Ethereum, seeks to improve its counterpart by offering faster transactions. We don't really care about Matic. It's got admin keys and a whole bunch of other stuff. Stay away from it. Not worth it. Wait till Pulse Chain comes out, then get real. The pseudo-anonymous Twitter account, Look On Chain, pointed out one wallet that achieved sizable returns in Matic. Polygon Whale received 4 million Matic from cryptocurrency exchange Binance in September of 2020 for around $85,000, just over 2 cents per token. 2 days ago, the wallet now has its holdings at 5.2 worth in stablecoins. Even though the sale included more Matic than wallet initially purchased from Binance, the trader still saw a return around 50 times the original price. Cool. I mean, I didn't really... What was the freaking article on this? Matic trader turns 80K into 4 mil. Okay. If you call that trading, I don't really call that trading personally. This dude held his Matic tokens from September of 2020 all the way up until now in January of 2023. I don't call that trading. I call that being smart. They waited till the right time. The trader still saw around 50 times the original price. Cool. I don't call that trading though. If I plan on taking profits myself, this dude took profits. Can't blame him. Now, did he sell out all in all? Who knows? That's a different discussion for a different day. But that's kind of what it ended up looking. However, the recent upswing is far from the token's peak in $2.92 in December. It's still down 60% from its all-time high. Back in December of 2021 at its highest price, the 4 million Matic bought in 2020 would have been 11 million. So like you cashed out, like you waited this whole time. This trips me out. Maybe they are a trader, but they waited this whole time. They bought it at 2 cents. They held it for this long, and then they cashed out 4.5 million. So they basically probably sold all their tokens. That trips me out. Like you waited this whole time. Why would you sell everything now and cash out at 4.5 million? The amount of tax you would have to pay for capital gains, ridiculous. That would be ridiculous for the capital gains. Like, why would you wreck yourself by losing? If you have to go pay, if you got 4 million and you had to go pay like 2 million just in capital gains, oh my god, that would freaking suck. Polygon ZK EVM is a scaling solution. All right, yeah. So other than that, look at that. There's not really too much news, okay? Because I don't really call that like trading for one, but they got me on the title. I just wanted to see if they took on margin or how they got that money. This week on crypto Twitter, Binance faces more insider trader allegations. Of course, OneCoin founder Ruja Ignatov resurfaces after 5 years in hiding. Cool. This week, Coins Ethereum drops as Aptos, Axie, and Avalanche see big gains. Cool. So again, not really too much news happening, right? We kind of see it right there. It's pretty easy to see that, again, at this point in time, crypto is pretty quiet during this time. But folks, get ready, because this could literally be that quiet before the storm that we're talking about, where some crazy stuff could happen out of nowhere. And I want everyone to kind of look back at that person who just did the Matic trade, right? They essentially held from launch, not from launch, but they held at the 2 cent level, which is probably pretty close to when that Matic was around. And then they ended up cashing out 4 mil, right? They turned 84K into 4 mil. Now, what are you going to do in that situation? And that's where what I talk about on my channel is taking profit. There's a proper way of taking profit. It's called D5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You don't want to wreck yourself by cashing out the entire position. There's literally no need to do that, because then you're going to be chasing back in. You're going to be thinking I can get back in when the price drops lower. You're going to be doing, dude, like the emotions that go through your head when you do something like that, very bad. Very, very bad for your health, very bad for your relationships, not good for your soul. And then they're probably going to have Romo later, regret of missing the opportunity. So they'll look back and Matic will eventually be back at like almost $3. And then they're going to be like, holy shit, I cashed out 4 mil, but I could have cashed out, 20 mil or 11 mil if I just waited an extra 6 months. And that's like 5 mil, dude. That's a 7 mil difference, like for just a very short period of time window. So why would you cash out the entire freaking portfolio? You don't. That's just someone who was able to get lucky. What it sounds like, they didn't have good foundations, good mental preparation of what they would do when prices hit certain metrics. So that's why I think having a good strategy of profit taking is going to be your best winner. And that's why what I'm doing over here is making this little spreadsheet that I'm going to be sharing with people joining the Patreon come February 1st. But this little spreadsheet right here will show a nice little calculation, and it'll do all that math for you. So when you come on over here, if you're trying to figure out like how much you need to cash out, how much you need to do, what it is, what it looks like, all this is going to do all that spreadsheet for you. And we're going to get into more on this spreadsheet in later detail in the next couple days. It's still being slightly fine-tuned, but folks, it is looking awfully pretty at this point in time. And I'm going to have a little example of how to go through, fine-tune it, and make it into any other calculator that you want, not only for HEX, but you can use it for any other cryptos you're currently holding, or you can use it for the new cryptos that are coming out, Pulse, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X, and any other items. So that's going to be coming soon. Get ready for that. Stay tuned and stay up to date. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, so that way you don't miss that whenever I do launch it, but it'll be coming out February 1st, so stay tuned on that information as well. SBF shouldn't even be allowed to be near a computer. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I don't know why they, I don't know. I just read Tintop's message a little bit further down. That's just funny. Yeah, he shouldn't be like, why is he still able to have all this? He's under house arrest. Yes, blah, blah, blah. But like, dude, nowadays it's so freaking difficult to limit someone's restrictions on social media. It is very difficult. Like, imagine that there's 100 different apps out there, which is why even in like SVF's lawsuit, they revised it to basically say like, hey, you know, no messaging app, and you know, it could be anything similar to it as well. Like, they have to put all that into message, because he probably said something like not able to get on Twitter or Telegram with these folks, and then he's like, I'll just hop on Slack, and then they're like, we can't hop on Slack, and he's like, I'll just hop on Xbox Live or whatever. Like, there's so many different ways to get in touch with folks, but the fact that people are still wanting to talk to him, the fact that he's still wanting to do his thing, I find it to be very comical at this point in time, because it's very it's very surprising. Tintop says, I always heard it as 6 P's. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. We got the 6 P's. Pee 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 pee. Pee 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 pew. Yeah, exactly. No matter what, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You're gonna have me starting to say piss poor performance, Tintop. You're gonna mess me up on my own little saying that I've been doing for a long time. Anyways, yes, there's definitely many ways to do it, because when you don't properly prepare, that is when you make emotional decisions. When you make emotional decisions, you wreck yourself, and you regret later on. You're like, oh my God, I could have done it. I shouldn't have done it. I could have done this. I could, like, all the woulda, coulda, shouldas come out, and it's just like, don't live in that sense. Don't live in that world. It's terrible for your soul. It's terrible for your life. It's terrible for your heart. Not good for anybody. Where my music be? Let's get some upbeat music going. So yeah, guys, as we take a look into HEX, right, we see that it's been retracing. We see the price has been fluctuating. We see there's a sense of uncertainty in the air, but it's important to remember, it's so important to remember that in the world of this crypto, in the world of our HEX ecosystem, change is the only constant, right? Like, that's the only one thing you can guarantee in this world, is the fact that it's going to be volatile, is the fact that it's going to change, it's going to be uncertain. But like, at the same time, while these retracements are a negative sign, or seem like a negative sign, or maybe to some as a negative sign, it's a good thing. It's a freaking good thing, especially if you're looking for opportunities to buy some more HEX. Like, why would you want to go and buy HEX when it's, you know, starting to rally back up again and reaching 5, 10, 20 cents, when you had the opportunity at one point in time at this 2 cent, 2.5 cent level? These are phenomenal opportunities that you need to be trying to take advantage of. Because of course, as the market adjusts, folks, and I'm going to switch this up to a little bit of a faster stream, because again, a daily chart, you know, just doesn't quite move like a 5-minute chart does, you know. Let's see what's going on here. Zoom. All right, let's see if we can get some fast moves over here with this nice little 5-minute chart. Fuck it, let's go 1 minute, dude. What are you even messing around for on the 5-minute? Let's just see some real moves, right? Let's see some real action happening on this price. All right, that's a crazy little thing to do. I don't recommend anyone, you know, stay on a 1 minute chart for any reason. There's literally like this is how you get wrecked trying to make a trade here, by the way. You look at this little chart and you're like, oh, it's going down, it's doing this. Oh, it's got this little doji engulfing candle. Oh, it's going to be positive, because like I could literally zoom in right here, for example, and see this as an actual positive momentum right here. So this little green candle that showed up for 1 minute, I could say, oh, in the next couple minutes, it's going to go positive. And it may be true because it's technically a doji engulfing candle. Oh man, I don't mean to do that. Why do I click that button? And it goes back to day. All right, well, flip it over to 5 minute. Go auto. Okay, cool. Is this more active if I go here? No. Okay, yeah, same difference. Okay. So this is kind of what's going on. Yeah, this is a 5 minute chart. Oh my gosh, everything is bearish. Oh my gosh, sell, sell, sell. But fuck it, might as well have some fun while we're here. It was encrypted private messages too, not just regular email or text. Well, I mean, dude, like that's what Signal does in Slack and like all these things, and like you can literally have it set to delete the message automatically after X amount of time. Just like even Snapchat or something like that, it can delete the message after a certain amount of time. Like absolutely hilarious, man. And the fact that he still has access to social media and to message platforms, yeah, kind of scary, you know what I mean? Like they definitely aren't thinking for sure on that one, in my opinion, because that's a pretty interesting thing that they would still let them have, all this stuff, right? Why would you still allow this dude who's embezzled and committed so many frauds and is on trial right now, or waiting to go on trial, or whatever the case may be, and then you still grant him access to literally talk to every single witness? Oh, dude. I'd be so effed if I was to get on like a court thing, right? Because they're like, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, if you don't think people are habitual liars, man, you're crazy, right? It's like, I don't know. You always see it, but then you get, you know, all the problems that come along with that too. So it's important to remember, folks, that like while you're seeing this little negative chart that I have pulled up, because why not, right? HEX is retracing, it's coming back down. HEX could do some crazy things. We don't know what HEX is gonna do. Is it the bottom? Probably not. Like, I don't know, dude. But it's important to know that like if you look at it from an outside perspective or from a macro perspective, you start looking at things like this could be a great opportunity to be buy back in. I want to set some limit orders, for example, back down at like 2.1. That's where I currently have mine set to. So I have limit orders anywhere between 2.1 all the way down to 1.4. Just in case, folks, just in case, because you never freaking know. And if the price dips down that low, I don't want to have to be in front of a computer that entire time to take advantage of it. If you don't know already how to set a limit order, you should start learning. Now is the time to do it. My personal recommendation, CalSwap. CalSwap does a really good job. Why? Because it allows you to give the most amount of time for your expiry date or the expiry date comparatively to a lot of other platforms. So if you're outside the US, 1inch.io, that's money. If you're using a VPN, you could technically use 1inch.io, but you will be violating their terms of service, and who knows what they can do and what repercussions they can actually come back on. And I'd rather just not be involved with that if I can. So personally, I'm going to be looking at it from a sense of how do I take advantage of this and make sure that I capture these moments? Well, you could do matcha.xyz, you could do dex.guru, and you can use CalSwap or swap.cal is what the website's actually called, swap.cal.fi, if you're trying to find this yourself. They have a limit order section here. You want to make sure you're either using wrapped Ethereum or USDC. Personally, if you go with USDC, you can then look to see what token you want to buy. In this case, I'm going to be looking for HEX. I can come on right here and say HEX is the token. And I can say I got 1500, we'll say, or 15, whatever the number is. And instead of buying HEX at this current price, which is the market price right now, I want to set to buy the price at 2.1, right? And the reason why is that gives me a 20% discount, or a better 20% more HEX in terms of how much more I can get by just having a 4-cent lower price. So you get so much more HEX by having limit orders. You have such a better sense of like happiness whenever the price drops, because guys, whenever the price is here and you buy a market buy and you do a market price right now, there's no guarantee that it's always going to do that. And what will happen is typically on nice little days like today where it's nice and red, I do recommend if you are going to do market buys that you end up doing them on red days. Today is in fact a good day in order to do a market buy, because again, if you just look over here, there's been a few red days, there's been a few green days over the last, month or over the last 10 days or whatever. Typically, if you are going to do a market buy, you want to do them on red days, especially on lower red days like today. Market buys on these prices, good opportunities. However, I look at it from the sense of I can get so much more HEX for just dropping this down to 2.1, for example. And then check this out. If I go 1.9, I get 30% more, 31% more. Great opportunities start showing up. So these are phenomenal chances because you get so much more for your buck. Like you get basically what would be valued at $2,000 almost for just $1,500, and you just set that limit order today. You can have the expiry date going out 5 minutes, 30, an hour. I don't recommend any short times, which is why I'm not a fan. Oh no, she was in here. Oh, okay, I thought you were bringing her back in. She was in here, and then she was like trying to paw at the door. Aww. So these are the abilities to actually start coming back in and seeing it right here. You can definitely do shorter days, right? This is basically what you get from say matcha.xyz or dex.guru. They have shorter days. They don't really allow you to go any further out. And then I found cow swap, and it was amazing because you can kick this sucker out and go custom and kick the sucker all the way out to 6 months from today. So I can go all the way out to August 1st now. Or August 31st, I guess. Oh yeah, it is August 1st. Cool. It did let me do it. It just changed it up here. So I can set this for August 1st. So that way, if the price ever drops back down below 1.9 cents between now and August 1st, as long as I have the USDC in here, it's going to automatically buy this for it when its price reaches 1.9 cents. Now, here's the reason why. It says CalSwap will cover your gas fee by executing your order at a slightly better price than the limit price you set. For this reason, your order may not be filled exactly when the market price reaches your limit price. So just keep that in mind if you set it at like, and guys, like these are all things to learn, right? And so one thing I recommend, appreciate that Crypto Gains Club, appreciate you coming through. Hex Squid in the house, 55, yes, guys. Once you get your HEX, you stake your HEX. Stake it long, be proud, become a true Hexican, show what we're all about. Benny Blanco in the house, love it. Thank you so much, Benny Blanco. Big fan of yours as well. Seeing you come around and all the chats. Love the photo as well for the profile pic. You got algorithms. Yes. Algorithms for sure. Hex Squid said our cow swaps always cheaper. Now again, dude, like when you start getting into Uniswap and when you start getting into decentralized exchanges, right? DEXs, Uniswap, CalSwap, PancakeSwap or 1inch.io or Matcha.xyz. When you start messing Dex.guru, when you start messing with these decentralized exchanges, there's going to be like ever so slight difference between each of them. Some of them will be better on some days, some of them will be worse on some days. The reason why is they're pulling from different liquidity pools. They have their own mechanisms that they use to fill these orders and to put in the orders, and they all use their own mechanisms. So some days you're going to find a better thing on say 1inch or Uniswap, for example, and then other days you'll find them better on CalSwap. So I can't say it's always going to be cheaper, but it's definitely going to be cheaper than you trying to do a swap through market, and it'll also be cheaper than doing the swap directly in MetaMask. I personally do not recommend doing that, right? MetaMask charges a 0.875 fee or something along that line to do the swap. It's not worth it, okay? Like, why would you want to pay that fee to do a swap? It just doesn't make any sense. Let me see right here if I can find out exactly how much it was. Slippage tolerance, let's just see if I can find out how much the actual cost was real quick. Hex, we're just gonna say 1 Ethereum. I know I don't have any freaking Ethereum in there, silly. So they charge estimated fee, best of 3 quotes. Yeah, so MetaMask charges 0.875% for a MetaMask fee. So you're essentially giving up 1% right from the jump. It's not quite 1%, but you're giving up 1% like right from the jump without even doing anything. You've literally swapped a token, and you just gave up 1% of your stack. Like, why would you waste that? Don't do a swap on MetaMask. It's just like, that's the beginners of, that's like the beginners of someone getting into crypto. Personally, you want to learn how to do decentralized exchanges as the first step. The second step is learning how to set limit orders. That's going to be the main one that you're really going to be able to truly benefit from, because on days like today, if you start seeing it red, you start having this decision where you may end up doing something irrational. That could be something like get out of your position entirely, or sell your stack, or try to, whatever decision you decide to make, it's probably wrong. Let me just say that, right? Like, if you make it an emotional decision, it's probably going to end up being the wrong decision. Let's just leave it at that. What? What'd you say? Bird! Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Baby! Oh my... That's so bad. Oh my gosh. Wife throwing with the zingers. Zing! Bazinga! But folks, like, that's what I was saying. It's definitely important to know that you do want to be making these decisions from a rational state of mind, right? Especially when it comes to crypto, right? Like, why would you want to try to jump in, ape in? Why would you want to, you know, do all these different things? And you're going to have either regrets about something later on. So, like, these are just lessons that I've learned, sharing it over time, all that good stuff. So retracements are definitely in the game. So yeah, guys, we'll kind of wrap it up there. There you have it, right? This is the quiet before the storm. We don't know if Pulse Chain is going to be launching soon. We don't know what's going to be happening here within the next, you know, few weeks, days, months, whatever the case may be. We definitely got plenty of stuff happening around the corner. We don't exactly know when it's all going to be launching. But yeah, this is definitely the quiet before the storm, right? Richard Hart's been awfully quiet the last week. People in the developer communities have been awfully quiet within the last week. The one benefit is we get to see that these folks are freaking active, guys. January 29, 2023, January 29, 2023. And guys, today is January 30th. Let's refresh the page, see if it's updated. Cool, there's still January 29th. I keep refreshing this page because, folks, I'm waiting for one day when I see this right here. Our man, RH, go active again on GitLab. And holy shit, that'll be absolutely insane upon that time, because he's probably checking something out, seeing it for himself, seeing how it all works. But it's important that you do your own research, that you keep a level head. You never invest more than you're willing to lose. These are all fundamentals of what we hear time and time again. We'll be keeping an eye on the market, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more information from HEX Crypto. I got some information coming on February 1st, so stay tuned on that. And folks, I will catch every single one of you beautiful people in the next stream come tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. Catch you later. Peace.